This is Kim Meyer, host of Choose to Rise. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
It is hashtag No Filter Friday on Public House Media, but really, the show's name needs to be changed to like Harvey Weinstein Weekly or something, or Harvey Weinstein Weekly, aka This Week in Morons, aka Top Whack Apologies Update. Like, it's just the things on the internet this week. Well, they're just terrible. Like, they don't even have a reason to exist, yet here they are. With that being said, let's take a minute to share the broadcast so our friends can come by and chat with us, because I don't want to say I'm feeling extra salty, because I'm feeling always feeling extra salty. I'm kind of like ordering fries at Wendy's, like it starts at extra salty, that's the baseline. So I don't want to say extra salty. That's not quite what it is, but so just sick to death of certain people, basically. Okay. Post shared. Wonderful. Now we can go back to doing the things that we wanted to do. I'm going to have a LaCroix because it's a no caffeine kind of day, which may or may not contribute to the whole over it situation. I don't know. I think I mean, God makes no mistakes for sure, but I think we kind of got gypped not having like a body that can just manufacture caffeine just at will. Like that would have been like a nice, upgrade feature, like evolution thing. Just saying, we could just become caffeine makers, but today's not a caffeine day. So it's a LaCroix day, which is fine. I live and breathe for LaCroix. No big deal. So anyway, we're going to talk about Harvey Weinstein and his whack email, and then we're going to talk about Lena Dunham and her equally whack apology, and what should happen to her in the wake of this. I am so sick to death of this chick. I have never been able to stand her, like to the point of, when I went to South by Southwest, she was keynoting. So every time my friend and I went to the bathroom, we sat on the toilet and tweeted mean things to her, because she's just such a waste of space. It's the worst. But yet here she still is, unfortunately. You know what? I'm gonna update this. I'm gonna edit my share post, because I think it needs to include those things. There, okay. Hopefully that will make things better. Anyway, okay, so 2 days ago, the news broke that Harvey Weinstein drafted a little email to everybody, like literally everyone in his address book, which is kind of interesting, but whatever. So this is from the Wrap. This is the Wrap's coverage of this. Oh, thank you, Emily Hansen. Hi, David Bobke. Thanks for coming in. Can you tell me if it sounds okay? Because I'm a little bit worried about it because I feel like the freeway's louder than usual, but I could be wrong. Okay, so this email leaked. We're going to use the term leaked loosely here. By TMZ shows disgraced producer criticizing police investigators and asking unknown subjects for help. Remember that whole conversation about how we talked about how it was like a Brutus and Caesar thing? Like once one person stabbed him, everybody was like, yes, yes. Everybody stab him. David, I can hear you fine, not hearing any freeway or dogs. Hey, we're having a good night, but let's not jinx ourselves. All right, a linked private email sent by Harvey Weinstein was published on TMZ Thursday morning showing the disgraced producer criticizing police investigating sexual assault charges made against him and asking the recipient for assistance. I've had this is what is cringeworthy. I've had one hell of a year, the worst nightmare of my life. As you can see from these articles, the police have played a very difficult role in my investigation. Reads the email. All 3 police officers have either been retired or repositioned from the SVU, Weinstein wrote. The articles are self-explanatory, but I'd like to speak to you on the phone if you have some time. There is more to this story. I appreciate your confidentiality. Clearly that went out the window. Have a read of these articles. I wish I didn't have to ask, but I'd be very appreciative of your time. Best, Harvey. If you are a listener or a watcher of No Filter Friday in Los Angeles and you work in Hollywood, did you, just a question, comment, leave a review, whatever, did you ever in a million years think that Harvey Weinstein, of all people, was going to be appreciative of anything, let alone people's time, or have to beg people to take his calls? Like, we're living in a parallel universe, yo. We're living in a parallel universe. More than 80 women have accused Weinstein of sexually based offenses ranging from unwanted advances to sexual harassment and rape. Police in LA, New York, London have launched investigations over the past year into several of those charges, with civil class action lawsuits being filed by some of his accusers against him and the Weinstein Company. Indicted on 6 felony sex crime charges and forced to stay within the New York, Pennsylvania state lines upon arraignment. However, in October, one of his charges was dropped. We did a show about this. We did a show about all of this, but that in particular got its own show. Withholding conflicting information from witnesses, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is where it gets juicy. A representative for Weinstein told the Wrap that the email was sent by the producer to his friends in an attempt to find someone to help him tell his side of the story, but did not specify who the recipients were. As more information has been coming out suggesting that many of the original narratives were not entirely precise, combined with the difficulty in this era of getting the actual facts told, I think Harvey contributed to that. He spent $600,000 on private investigators to build dossiers on people that were talking about him raping them. So I think that's an accurate statement, just aimed at him. But okay, fine, whatever. As more information has been coming out suggesting that many of the original narratives were not entirely precise, Weinstein has denied all wrongdoing and maintains that all alleged sexual encounters, when consensual, which we all know is not true, blah, 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 same different bra. Oh, Britt Vale came in. Hello, Britt Vale. Thanks for popping by. So what's interesting is that this guy, good old Harvey Harv, he emailed his friends, like, asking for, for them to take the time out of their day to take his calls. And he, like, put links. If you go online, you can see, like, the actual email. And, like, he put, like, links to all these articles. Like, it's a mess. But the real side-eye catching piece to all this is that it, like, outlines, like, some of the legal arguments, which is why a lot of people are like, this is not what they're trying to make it seem. But playing the victim here is no bueno, dude. It's going to end up like a Brock Turner situation, like him being like, but this is so terrible for me. Like, I think it's going to make the book get thrown at him that much harder. And he just needs to shut up and go away. That's what happens when you get into these situations. Just shut up, and if that doesn't work, shut up and go away. Because, like, his life is toast. Like, regardless of what happens, like, even if it never gets any worse than it is right now in this moment, Weinstein Company's gone. He's been booted from the academy. I think he's been booted from PGA. Like, it's done. It's over. Like, the best he can hope for is, like, to, like, stay on house arrest for a while in Connecticut. Like, that's the best. Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Manhattan, like, somewhere in Manhattan is the best he can hope for. So I don't know why he's going to go out and make this harder for himself. Like, there's no winning to this, and for him, like, there's just not. Like, this is so silly. But I never thought I'd see the day where Harvey Weinstein, of all people, is appreciative of anything, let alone anyone's time, and begging for phone calls. Yvonne, thanks for coming by, Yvonne. Anyway, let me answer this text message real fast, because I have 2 movies going right now and I could die. Like, if you could see the gray hair popping up out of here, this producing stuff's it's gonna be the death of me. It's gonna put me in the grave for sure. Come on, phone. And my phone smashed. Any hoozles. So, on the theme of people that need to shut up and go away, Lena Dunham has been on the tippy top of that list, in my opinion, for a very long time. As soon as this chick showed up, it was a hard no for me, and it's gotten worse ever since. Her show was garbage. She's garbage. Like, off tops. I cannot get down with any chicks that can neither operate a dick nor a hairbrush. I just can't. I cannot stand slouchy people. I don't get down with it. Oh, Alexa Poller's here. Thanks for coming in. I can't. It was like, that show was so disgusting. And her book was even more disgusting. And her lying about this guy, because what happened recently is that somebody came out and said, this guy that was a writer on her show, she was 17 at the time, had non-consensual sex. The 17-year-old had non-consensual sex with this guy that was a writer on the show. Lena herself and some other chick that also worked on the show came to his defense and said that they had inside information, quote unquote, and said that he was innocent and, she shouldn't have a case, basically. Well, as it turns out, this guy did manage to have a 17-year-old in his bed, and she doesn't know how she got there. She just woke up and he was penetrating her. So things came out. They behaved and said the things that they did. And it really kind of, it really messed with their case. But she's, now that the correct information came out about what did happen to them, she has apologized. And the fanfare that this chick gets is beyond me, without the gross, disgusting things that she's wrote in her book about herself or lied about other people, or in this case, lied about other people. That was plenty. This is more than enough. Like, but this chick still ends up getting all of this fanfare for what reason I can't tell you. Like, there's some pretty disgusting, awful people in this town, and there's some amazing people in this town. She falls in a category on the lower end of that spectrum, and she still just keeps getting all, like, when, who is this, a Hollywood Reporter? When the Hollywood Reporter tweeted this article that they put out about her, they were like, we're so proud of Lena for apologizing. I was like, what? Are you serious? Gross. And like the Twitter just tore them apart for that. Thank God, but still. Okay. So this is the article in the Hollywood Reporter. Gross, 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 but we're going to read it anyway. This year has been an incredible year for women in Hollywood. There has been unprecedented dialogue about issues like wage equality and systematic bias, and most notably sexual assault and harassment. We've spoken and we've spoken loudly, and our voices, once muffled under layers of crinoline and repressed rage, have been heard. Heroines have emerged. We are cracking open. Those two words shouldn't be used in the same sentence. We are cracking open windows and beating down doors. The air is circulating and the light is pouring in. There are magazine covers and TV specials and parties and Instas. Is that even a word? Is Instas a word? Hollywood Reporter? Is that a thing? I don't get that. No, thank you. Instas celebrating the very real, very important, and long overdue progress that has been made. With that progress, there have been mistakes, there has been pain. There has been a deep and gut-wrenching reckoning, not just for men. This year has been incredible for women in Hollywood, but I know I'm not alone when I say that this year has also been hell. The day that Harvey Weinstein was revealed to be a sexual predator, a secret that wasn't really a secret to women who make movies, a story we kept whispering to one another between past appetizers, was thrilling. Thank you, David Bobke. According to David Bobke, dictionary.com does not recognize Instas as a word because it shouldn't. Because it shouldn't. That's why. It felt like things were really changing that morning in October 2017. I cheered, I clapped, I wrote an op-ed. I was painfully unaware of how much the content of the news in the coming days would activate and disarm me, and even less aware that my plight wasn't at all unusual. I was not special because of my trauma. Not special for any reason. Newsflash. That's besides the point. But I didn't know that I was part of an army. So many of us have spent such a long time hiding our trauma. At least I know I had. Even as a chronic oversharer, I tended to leave huge swaths of experience out of my story. I was walked around feeling like such a victim. We know that goes without saying. Louis Francisco says, what's new? Nothing. This is barely news. I can't believe it. It's considered news, but here we are in 2018, and it is. It's like so many women, so many people. I disguise my pain with medication and stuff, and chronic overwork with social media and mindless dating and random day-to-day drama. We generate to stay out of our own experience. I never stopped, much as stopped to consider that I might be capable of traumatizing somebody too. The exact complaint I've always had about old white man artists. Pretty sure that's the wrong tense, but continuing on in this epic sea of whackness. And so I made a terrible mistake. When someone I knew, someone I had loved as a brother, was accused, I did something inexcusable. I publicly spoke up in his defense. No, you lied. You didn't speak up for him. You lied for him. There are few acts I could ever regret more in this life I didn't have the insider information I claimed, but rather blind faith in a story that kept slipping and changing and revealed itself to mean nothing at all. I wanted to feel my workplace and my world were safe, untouched by the outside world, a privilege in and of itself, the privilege of ignoring what hasn't hurt you, and I claimed that safety at cost to someone else, someone very special. To Aurora, you have been on my mind and in my heart every day this year. I love you. I will always love you. I will always work to right that wrong. In that way, what is she doing besides talking about herself publicly? I don't know what is she's doing for this girl. In that way, you have made me a better woman and a better feminist. You're welcome. I don't know what she means by that. You shouldn't have been given that job in addition to your other burdens, but here we are, and here I am asking, how do we move forward, not just as you and I, but of all of us living in the gray space between admission and vindication. It's painful to realize that where I thought I was self-aware, I had actually internalized the dominant male agenda that asks us to defend it no matter what. Nope, that was your choice. That was your choice that you made as a grown adult woman, if that's what we're calling it. To defend it no matter what, to protect it no matter what, baby it no matter what. Something in me still feels compelled to do that job, to please, to tidy up, to shopkeep. My job now is to excavate that part of myself and to create a new cavern inside me where a candle stays lit, always safely lit, and illuminates the wall behind it where these words are written. I see you, Aurora. I hear you, Aurora. I believe you, Aurora. This space is yours. Do with as you please, when you please. I will keep holding this space. It will always be there. This is disgusting. This is so gross. I have to take a pause for grossness. People often come up to me and say, you're so open and vulnerable. You have no shame, but I have spent the past decade hiding my own pain, but also men's mistakes. It's really interesting when apologies to other people have so many I's in them. I, me. I feel like that for an apology, there should be like a legal limit on I's and me's. An apology, maybe we can take that down about 15 notches. I didn't want to tell anyone about the 70-year-old Hollywood luminary who was so angry that I rebuffed his kiss that he made me do 30 takes of the word hello, or about the Oscar nominee who drove me to the place he lost his virginity while I asked again and again when I could be dropped home. I didn't want anyone to know about the pseudo-boyfriend who tied me up with my special occasion stockings and forced himself inside me. You know what? I'm done with this. I can't even read the rest of this. This is so unbelievably disgusting. If you want to read the rest of whatever this ratchet wrote, you're welcome to, but I'm not going to do it anymore. Because it's just too awful. And there's too many I's and there's too many me's. And an apology that we're using this term super loosely these days to somebody else. No shame. Hold my beer, please. Exactly, Louis Francisco. Exactly. It's so, there are no words. This is officially the Dumbfounded episode of No Filter Friday. We're a year in. It took us a year, and we're here. Dumbfounded. And of course, it's because of Lena Dunham. Who else would do it in this? It's just gross. But you know what? This chick, what is it called? She obstructed justice for sure. And this is a public forum. This is a national publication, so that officially qualifies it as slander. So she should be pursued criminally by the state for obstruction of justice, with interfering with their investigation and their case. And then after they're done with that, this Aurora chick needs to sue her into the Stone Age, because what she said originally, and then this whackness to follow it up. I'm sure any judge will be like, no. You can't just print that you have insider knowledge on a case and sway it and screw it up, and especially a sex crime involving a minor. Are you serious? Like, that's what happens when we have people out here that think that they're untouchable, shall we say, that everybody's like so in love with them and there's so much fanfare over them that never in a million years would they be held responsible for their mouths and their behavior. But we're here now. Oh, Tilda's here. Hello, Tilda. Thanks for coming in. It's almost Sundance time again. Tilda and I went to Sundance last year together, and it was so much fun. We wore lots of faux fur, but that's besides the point. Anyway, Lena Dunham officially needs to be pursued criminally by the state for her involvement in this case. And then I hope this girl sues her into the Stone Age, because she is so collectible and so ripe for it. Like, surely Lena Dunham is represented by a very expensive entertainment attorney and they let her go do this. Mind-blowing to me. It seems like she's exposing herself to so much more liability than she already has. It's a mess, dude. It is a mess, and it's absolutely, what she did is absolutely inexcusable. Like, it's so gross. Like, when you interfere with other people's cases, that is criminal. It's absolutely criminal. You can't do it. Why on earth she would stick her neck out for this guy? Like, I think there's something deeper to it. I highly doubt she was like, this guy wrote on she was a staff writer on my show. I'm just going to go say a bunch of stuff, and then she involved some other lady in it too, because they both came out with the story. So both of them together, jointly as a unit, you need to be pursued criminally for obstruction of justice, because it's not okay. And then I hope this chick sues both of them for slander in the whatever capacity that she can, and I hope she milks it, every single dollar and cent out of these chicks, because she 100% deserves it. Like, a minor? Seriously? Like, WTF, man. WTF. Well, I have been sufficiently grossed out for one day. Don't know about you. So next week, we're going to talk about Neil deGrasse Tyson and all the crap that's going on with him. Also gross. Maybe, we'll see. We'll do a poll next week on who's grosser. A running tally of points of who's the biggest idiot. So thanks for coming to No Filter Friday. I love you all so much. And I would say that I apologize for sounding so salty, but I'm not sorry for it. I'm just sorry that it has to be this way, basically. But anyway, that's besides the point. Kings of the criminal stereotype. I don't know. Maybe. That's not my decision to make. But go check out some other shows on Public House Media, like Choose to Rise, or The Cheap Seats, How to Write Good, Crowned and Dangerous, all those fun things. And it's everywhere: Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, some other things that I don't know about. It's all over the place. So go check it out and leave a comment or a review or some stars or whatever it is that you got. And I will see you all next week doing the same thing, but about Neil deGrasse Tyson. So have a lovely week.